Shalom, Yashala. Quick video. Don't want to make this too long because I want to do more videos. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, great millstone, who rule well. My salutation to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect, soon to be the elect, Most High will. And to contrite spirits returning back to the Most High, families, blessings. Kamala Harris, I'm going to call this Kamala Harris something. I don't know yet, but I think it's here. At the beginning, and I just want to play this a little bit. Now they're hollering, the crowd is hollering, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus loves you. And you guys, and she said, you guys at the wrong rally. And then you got Jake, I guess so-called exposing her, I think to expose her, and shows her at a black church. Let me get to that.
Rhetoric and anti-Christian approach to public policy. I don't think that we've, that's right, Jesus is king, and I don't think that we've seen...
And then they talk after that. The people that's doing this video, for one, they don't care about the religion, man. They don't care about Christianity. They don't care about nothing. They on this New World Order thing, man. And I looked it up, and she knows Jesus. She knows about the prophets, and she knows about that's not his real name. They know. And she's probably related somehow, I'm pretty sure, to the elites some way or another. Great-great-granddaughter, what have you, cousin, just like Cheney and Obama. When I Googled her agenda, which is not a personal agenda, is according to the New World Order elite men. First thing she talks about in a presidential campaign, first thing it mentions is an economy. I mean, Slovakia, an opportunity economy. So, and she's talking about taxing the rich and the high business owners, the wealthy, and the big companies, and giving a tax break for the middle class and lower class families, lowering drug costs and making housing more affordable. That's a come on, man. They've been doing that, talking about us. What you could trick Jake easily with that, man. And like I said, middle class. Jake don't even know what middle class is. He think making $15 to $20 an hour is middle class, or just having a job. You got to do this. Look it up yourself. You have to make at least $250,000 $250,000 to be considered middle class. That's yearly. So Jake, most of these Jakes, maybe more than 90% of these Jakes are poor. Even if they got good housing, live in a decent neighborhood, and make pretty decent money, they still, according to the lease, you're poor. And if you know anything about the lease, there's a club status. There's millionaire club, there's a billionaire club, and they don't even mention the trillionaire club because they're the ones that's ruling everything. And there's no bracket for Jake. You'll never hear Oprah. Some of these, I mentioned her. She's been in the shadows lately, but she's one of the richest black people in America, along with some of her colleagues, some of them other entertainers and actors. Dr. Dre's considered a billionaire. Pretty sure Jay-Z, but all that shit, you know what's happening with that. But anyway, there's, club status. And she's part of the club. She's part of their club, and she's in a club status. She's not, she's not an elite. She's an elite figure, but she's not the elite themselves. And probably, like I said, a part of their family, some sort of way. But if not, in any case, they're the ones that pull the strings for this presidential debate, or the campaigns and debates, and eventually who is picked to be the president. And that's all for the agenda. So, if I kept reading, it says many of her proposals continue measures put forth by the Biden administration, such as providing tax relief to the middle class and lower. Yeah, I just read that. She has vowed to protect reproductive freedom and secure the border. But Harris has aimed to put her own stamp and style on matters ranging from abortion to the economy to immigration, trying to walk a fine line of taking credit for the administration's accomplishments while not being jointly blamed for voters for its shortcomings. And see, that's another thing. They put those things out there like abortion, economy. You always hear that as part of a campaign choice to, change, to ensure comfort to, those people that are affected by that subject matter, that, the and the everyday citizen of America, But it's all leading to the New World Order. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, like it says in the scriptures, man. One thing, too, I looked up tax in the blue letter, and I'll get it. Let it say what it says.
Strong's G 583, Apocrypho.
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 Apocrypho. And that's great. I just want to mention this. Apostles say go into the Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, and you see why. I mean, even with these, the way that this was pronounced was agrafo. Like you can hear a little Spanish in there with the R. To where you'll know that just because it's a ra sound, that doesn't necessarily mean it's Spanish. It could be Greek. It could So all these certain kind of things inside the language, it's very similar because of captivities and because of former captivities, present captivities, to where we started talking language according to our captors, but that wasn't the first language. That just because it's a new captivity doesn't mean these people that were ruling over us at the time owned that language, or were the origins of that language. Hopefully I said that right. To write off copy from some pattern, to enter in a register of records. So specifically to enter into public records the names of men, their property, and income, to enroll. It's a form to write. It's a form of public records, names of men, their property, and income. Let me look at the etymology right quick. impose a tax on demand, require, impose, evaluate, estimate, handle, assess. So this all got to do with economy, and that's why the first thing they mention, one of their strongest points when coming to their public campaigns, at these meetings, with their speeches is based on what they're going to do with the tax. And it brings so-called comfort to the poor to tax the rich, to tax the big businesses. But I mean, even if they're taxed, does it affect them? Does it really affect their business to where they understand the poor people and understand the people that have been taxed for so long that now, okay, now the weight's off your back, we're getting taxed, and now we feel your pain? No, they're still going to be rich. These are thriving big companies that have been in business for a long time and coexist conglomerately. I can't say it, man. That's my favorite word because it's such a different word, man. But hey, conglomerately work together. As a force, as a like you heard about buying shares and all that, and so it's in a simple term, when dealing with shares, it's like sharing with you got a big business, you're sharing with another big business, but you're gonna leave the poor man out. You're gonna leave the Israelite business out. I'm talking about the common Israelite that not in the truth, but they're Israelites though. They're not, and they're not gonna work with other black businesses because they can't trust. They're not, you know, in their mind they don't trust black businesses, other black businesses, and there's always some faulty that happens, with that. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them tried, and a lot of them have already learned from growing up and dealing with each other as black people. And I think the same thing relates to the so-called Latin communities, and when it comes to business, probably more prominent. I mean, more effective because they do grow up more family oriented. It's just facts, but nothing differentiating between the tribes as far as who we are and the brothers in the truth. Yeah, impose a tax on to touch, to handle, to burden, put a strain, to meaning censor, to reprove. So, yeah, it's almost like an examination of what you're bringing in, and you kind of like keeping up with somebody. It's like you know, at the job they call it micromanagement. They looking at everything, every little thing you do, everything little thing you bring it in, tax you on everything, you know, that comes. How you think they're gonna do it? Maybe they so much need a barcode with the rich because they are the ones that putting the barcode out. Pretty much, they're the ones that are in control and of the MOTB. But what does that mean for the poor? Because you know there's not going to be tax free with the poor. They might be more lenient, and it's a form of deception. But I'm pretty sure, and I don't think she's going to be the president, but if she, for the sake of this example, if she was, and she said, well, I'm going to tax big businesses and tax the rich, what have you, the poor is still going to be taxed in some kind of way. And there's going to be demands on that side too. Barack, when he was in, Barack Obama, when he was in office, he said, well, 50% of your privacy is going to be, on the line because, hey, if you want security, you also got to take the measures of having your privacy taken away, you know? So even if you want the best of something, there has to be something that you got to give and give up. And they know this. And so they play this game, and they're not going to tell you that part of that what would you call it? A proposition. They're not going to tell you how it looks from that angle, as far as what you need to know concerning, this mathematical setup that got to do with the economy when it comes to taxes, that got to do with the MOTB, that got to do with buying into the system, basically enough to where you're selling your soul. Because, like I said, Oprah can't buy enough to prove to feel valuable enough for America. Because if she go into a store and they say, "Well, we think you're stealing," she's gonna be her heart is gonna be broken because she said, "Well, I'm a billionaire. How dare you? I'm Oprah." Well, she's just a name. Her name is more valuable than what money she has in her pocket or bank account. Who owns her name? She got a business. I don't know what it is. A network, I guess. Yeah, it's called Oprah Winfrey Network. It's called, and it spells out own. So who owns her name? She might get money from doing shows and showing up, and appearing at, and at shows, doing interviews or whatever, doing movies, whatever. She don't really do movies no more, but and she get paid. But who really owns her name? Because when you go into a business, you got to make up a name for your business. You know, and if you want to make it family oriented, you say, "Well, I'm gonna open up a business, the Smith business," and your whole family is under that. That you use your family name for that business, and pretty much if you go into sharing and with these other companies, and they making much more money than you, you're gonna sell your business, and of course, they might want to change the name because they know that's your name. But if they wanted to keep it's a deep thing because it's almost like slavery, man. Like if you're a slave under the Johnson family and your name is Johnson, you one of them Johnson boys, you know, and then you get sold to the Smiths, uh, and then you'll become a Smith boy, you know. So your name can change according to, you know, how the business it works when things are being sold or bought, whatever. It's a buying and selling method always, even with this political world, and she knows that. So she's not concerned about this going to the church and all that. Okay, yeah, she's showing up. She's this is to build her campaign. I'm gonna go to a black church, so it'll get black people on my side. It's a business move, as well as anything they do during their run, for presidency. So why are these black people shocked? I mean, they probably don't know, or they're not too um, thoughtful what this really means, you know. So, and they, of course, they were dealing with taxes back then. And it's the same kind of system It says Luke 2:1, and it says, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. You know, accounted for. Uh, what does it say in the meaning? You know, recorded public records. So, you know, even in marriages, if you get married according to this legal system, it's more like an illegal system. You get married to your wife and y'all open up joint accounts and y'all do the, everything, y'all bring things to the house, y'all go half on things, and then when y'all break up, you have a heavy argument and you break up and, you have the house in both of your names, you have everything in both of your names under a joint account, then they're gonna have to see records of who bought this. And you say, well, it was a joint account. I don't know too much into this. I'm just mentioning a little bit about it. But I think most high willing, I'll study some more on it. But it just makes sense that, you have to, when you go to court and you fight over those things, and then you have to set a new value on those things for the judge to make a decision who they really think that property should go to. You say, well, my mother gave me that, and we talked about this. Like if we should ever, everything happened, I can have this, or he, said, hey, anything your mother gives you, hey, don't worry about that. Don't, or you might have some deal with somebody, even in a roommate situation, like, hey, man, you don't have to add up nothing, man. We just, but if y'all ever come to odds, you're going to be calculating all that shit. So, in a way, with this, and I'm getting to a scripture because I don't want to talk too much, but I just wanted to explain that in a way when they do lead these campaigns and with this political, leverage that they have with public appearances and all that, and when they talk to the masses, it's almost like, well, we have to be stern, but we have to kind of like figure out a way where they get something, the people get something too, which comes to like promises and stuff. Well, we'll promise you that, we'll build better roads, we'll do this. So that doesn't mean that we're not moving into Jacob's trouble. That doesn't mean that the world is not in the worst state. Those are just, and a lot of those are broken promises. I mean, come on. What was America built on? Basically, broken promises, broken treaties. So, these are just things that they say in a moment of time to win an election, and to get people believing like, well, they're actually doing something. But no, is it overall helping the whole world? Is it overall helping citizens? And I told somebody, like, there's no two winning teams. Somebody got to lose. So if somebody's, there's a party that believes that they have a right to abort children, whatever, and there's a party that doesn't. Somebody's going to lose. Somebody's going to be like, well, damn, because it can't be both. And that's what the Most High said. You can't serve two masters. You're going to either hate the one or love the other. This is not a two-way game. It's one narrow road. It's not two sides of the coin. It's not two faces on images on the coin. Yahweh Shai said, "Show me the image where a subscription on the money, on the penny." He said, "Well, give to Caesar what is Caesar, and give to the Most High what is." He didn't say put it all in one bag and hey, So that's what they do, but they good at playing both sides, just like the Romans did with the plebeians and publicans, patricians and plebeians and patricians, and just like the Democrat and Republicans. So, going back to Caesar, that all the world should be taxed. Well, we got to pay taxes, and we're going to pay taxes regardless. And there's really nothing wrong with that, except we're under the oppressor. So it's going to be bogus shit. It's going to be usury. It's going to be, and we tell you about the draconian laws coming. I'm getting close out. But, so, you know, if she taxes the rich and the big businesses, what is Israel going to feel better? Because the business is still going to be booming. The rich is still going to be the rich. And who knows what kind of, they're not keeping up with records like these people are. Israel don't have a barcode system to where they're keeping up with the world inventory and the world records of who's, is everybody being taxed accordingly to what we have put in the blueprint with our, and our policies, regarding our promises during the campaign speeches. Nobody's keeping up with that shit. They're just leaving it in the hands of the government. And yeah. So how do you know the rich is really paying taxes? How do you know that the big business is really paying taxes? Anyway, I think that's it, man. To the next video. Seemed like I would want to mention something else, but I'll think of it and put in part of the next video. Shalom.